G'day everyone, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. It's kind of late at night. I've been sick for a little bit. I'm over it now, but I still have a really chesty cough. So I'm going to be a little bit quiet, a little bit reserved so I don't have a coughing fit through this video. The laundry's going, the whole thing's a mess. It's late at night, so there's glare on this as well. So hopefully you're here just to see what's happening with Collage Club for October 2022. I'm really excited. There's 6 sheets here and there's so much in here that I really love. So I'm going to explain a bit about where some of this comes from. And yeah, and I guess have a little bit of a chat at the end, let you know what I'm up to, just briefly, because it's been a while since I've kind of checked in and a lot's happened at the start of October. Anyway, this is sheet number 1. Again, Collage Club, October 2022. Lots of Halloween this month, for obvious reasons, it being October. These were little daisies we did on Instagram Live. I think we did her on Instagram Live too, that pencil witch. But this was huge. This was like literally 2 pages big, because we originally did her 1 full page and then I added the hat on top. If you're in those live streams, I'm sure you remember that fiasco. But I decided to color them digitally. It's the actual pencil drawing scanned in, but colored them digitally on Procreate, which is something I don't do very often, but I thought it worked really well for this, especially because I wanted to see it in a different color story. So I kind of altered all the colors and gave her a bit more of a gothic kind of muted version and made her a little bit smaller over here. So I really love that. I've given you both of those options there. We did a bit of Tim Burton playtime. A lot of this is from Instagram live streams as well. There's a lot of like really current stuff this month. And a lot of these tiny little pumpkins, the little party pumpkins, were test ones that I did before I made that page in 10 video. There's a whole pumpkin page. Actually, I'll show you. This is your 6th kind of bonus sheet this month, and it's all these colorful party pumpkins. There is a page in 10 video on how to draw these if you want to learn how to draw them. So that's there for you as well. But I gave you a whole sheet because I wanted them in a whole variety of colors, so I figured if you wanted them too, you could have those. But yeah, those are all little sketchy versions. They're all different. And she is a head, but the rest of her is on this page. I blew up the head and made it a bit bigger because I really like the detail in it, especially her little skull fro, her little afro puffs. And this is a Miguel from Coco. Yeah, that's it really. This is another little sketch. She had a body that I really didn't fall in love with, but I loved her little head. So I took the original illustration. This is all done digitally on Procreate. I know I really dipped my toes in the water of digital this month. You know, I don't usually do that, but I had a curiosity. I had a really slight curiosity, so who knows. I don't think I'll be making the switch anytime soon, but it was good. Oh, I almost missed my favorite. She is a real pencil sketch. I feel like I now have to tell you which is real and which is digital. But yeah, love her. Absolutely loved her. Obsessed with her. Just very simple. I was really feeling vintage Halloween this year. Like 50s, 60s. Love that. We also have some kind of older stuff from Halloween's past, or Whimsyweens. Lots of Tim Burton inspired stuff. These stacked pumpkins, which were originally, I had stamped them using a Mindy Lacefield stamp set, and then used that as kind of the base, and then detailed and illustrated them, made these little ornate kind of pumpkin stacks in graphite, which I really love. That's the original for a little disconnected head. I guess you could give her this big head if you wanted to Frankenstein that together. This is from my planner, just a little bit of a sketch. Like some of this stuff is from, I think, Playtest Patreon like years ago. Bit of a nice throwback there. This was a Daisyween image, one of those original little sketches. I'm trying to hold them like this so you can see without the glare. Hopefully that's working. These are some old Tim Burton inspired sketches. This has a bunch of stuff from years ago, like this big moon as well. In the cut files, I've made some of these, like a lot of them have that little white border around them, but for the moon, I actually made this big black border so that the cut line would go into it. Sorry. There you go. Can you see that? So it cuts it right into the black. So it's not a white border, it's a black edge. I did that for this moon and this. Not this. This has a white extra bit to cut off the trim at the bottom. You can just use scissors for that. Anyway, I'm not quite sure how many people really use the silhouette files. I use them for convenience, and I always put them in there if I've made them for myself. And I've made them for myself, I think, every month since we started. So it's convenient, I guess, if you have a silhouette. Really not helpful if you don't. Sorry. There you can see the remnants of my I'm assuming it was a sinus infection. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I think it was. If anything, it was just a cold. It really wasn't that bad, but it took me out for the weekend. These are the Cruella sketches. I don't know if I showed... I did. I put these on Instagram. This is my favorite one, the newspaper dress. That was a bit of a Tim Burton aesthetic going on there in ink. This was done with watercolor and ink. The red dress. This is from the Cruella live action movies. Steve always has it on in the background. It's a really good background movie to have on in the house. And so I was just sketching to that. This is another one of those party pumpkins. I believe this was the first one I did, and then all the other ones were a derivative of this. So I think that one's kind of my original. And then the Halle Bailey, yeah, I was about to say Halle Berry. Halle Bailey Ariel, the trailer had dropped more recently, and I've been dying for a first glance at it, and when I saw it, I immediately got to sketching her as Ariel. So there's a couple. This one is from my sketchbook, and this one is from my Hobonichi 5-year. You can see the little Japanese text that's kind of underneath her tail there. So I gave you both options just because they are slightly different, but same really. This is the Tim Burton inspired piece that we did on a live stream as well. So if you're in that live stream, that's her. She's originally kind of big as well, but I sized it down. I mean, this is still a pretty substantial collage piece if you're kind of using them as decorations. Yeah. But I wanted to include that because that's stuff that we do together. So I feel like that should be on your collage sheets. Because some people follow along. I imagine that if you're following along, like if I was following along, it's nice to, what I'm going to do when I do Art Gelling the Magic, like if I've got teacher references and stuff, I can put those in my book and it feels like I've got the original or like the inspiration, and then I've got my work there, and I like to kind of put all that together. So I think it's important to try and include that. Even if they don't really work out. I mean, I don't include all of the ones that don't work out, but I put a lot in there. This is also, speaking of Art Gelling the Magic, some of the fairy stuff. We had just done a workshop, and I was very inspired, obviously, by Tinkerbell. So I had a whole bunch of Tinkerbell stuff going on. This one is a sketch from My Virtual Voyage 7. This was the original coloring page that I wanted to do with Tinkerbell. I ended up changing it. I love the one I changed it to, but I still thought she was really charming, so I put her in here. That little pencil sketch. These were inspired by Tinkerbell. These are watercolor and pencil. I just love these. I think they're so soft. They're very, goodness, so many names flying around in my head. Mary Blair. Really inspired by Mary Blair for these. I used the Lily of the Valley as kind of the inspiration for Tinkerbell, because she's got that bell. I mean, she is a bell, right? She's a fairy bell. I was thinking of the bell-shaped blossoms of the Lily of the Valley, and so I decided to kind of give her that inspiration and make her like a little Lily of the Valley. And so these are sketches from that. And I was just playing with bunches of different skin tones, so there's a fair-skinned one here too, yeah. But I thought I loved these too. I wanted to make sure they were in there. I've got a whole bunch of other fairies from that workshop that I did, just in really tiny sizes as well. I thought they'd be really cute to kind of have on your little lines of writing in your journals. In yours. I mean, I'm thinking about mine, but I'm assuming you maybe think that I do consider how you're going to use them. That would be normal, yes, but I mean, let's be real. I think about how I'm going to use them, and hopefully, fingers crossed, you find a use for them too. This is from my Hobonichi planner years ago. Just a whole bunch of random doodles. It was actually a stamp and illustration workshop. I'd just done that really quickly, inspired by that. This was also from a stamping workshop. You might remember that if you've done that workshop. She was a stamp, but I like a base, and I colored over the top of her when I went to see the Nutcracker last year. This is kind of a fairy page. When I was putting it together. I've added a few things that aren't so specifically fairy, but oh no, everything is kind of fairy. I mean, she's a ballerina, but she's got those little wings. And she is a mermaid, but she's also a fairy. This is from the Creator Box years ago. We all had pages in that book for all the design. Everyone who designed something in that box had an artist page in there. And this is the illustration I did for mine. I've always really, really loved. I never really wanted to use it in collage sheets because it's so connected to the rest of the illustration that when I cut it out, you can see the parts where it overlaps. Like even she's supposed to be sitting on something, so it just doesn't look like it's finished. It's not a standalone image, it's a part of a bigger image. But I figured, you know what, I just love it and it's okay. There's going to be like a little bit of wonkiness up there, but no one will really see it unless I point it out. So cut to me pointing it out to you. I wanted to put it in there because I really love it. This is the 4th page. No, this is the 5th page. This is the 6th page. We've already seen that. This has stuff that I did from my trip to Disneyland. I was sketching over at a musical celebration of Coco. If you know, you know. My husband has a very close attachment to that show. So I was sketching out some Miguels. I've shared this before too. It's from my little pocket passport size journal that I take to Disneyland when I go sketch there. And so, we did this on page in 10 as well, if you want one of those. I like putting that in there as well. If I do like little tutorials on YouTube or if I'm teaching classes and stuff, I mean, I don't get to share absolutely everything. So Collage Club's a great way for me to put that stuff in here as well. Because I see people all over. Like sometimes I see people pop up on my TikTok, but I don't necessarily find those same people on YouTube, or sometimes I'll only know people on YouTube and they don't see what I do on Instagram, and sometimes people pop up on my Instagram lives but they don't really see the YouTube stuff, so I feel like I can never really know where to show everything and put everything. Collage Club has been really good to just kind of gather it all here, and if anything, you're just seeing a whole bunch of what I'm doing all over the place each month. And then, you know, stuff from the past as well. Like there's some little illustrations from the past, but like this, I was doodling in a training that I had. Don't tell the boss. I had a pen. They gave us a pen and this was on the back of the paper and I just doodled all over it. And I liked all the little drawings, so I just decided to put my little doodles in there for you. I imagine this would look really nice on transparent sticker paper and then kind of putting it over some whatever journal you've got, so it would look like you've just drawn over it in pen. I figured that would be good. And I've added some of the other little scribbles and doodles I did in there. There are some little party hats just for some random use. I guess you could put one on her if you wanted to. There's the other Tinkerbell. You can see this is how I had attached her to the vine to make her the blossom. She doesn't have her blossom skirt, so you could add that, or I mean you could do whatever you want to that, but she's kind of just like the topper. This is a little section of a one-line contour castle with some elegant writer pen, and then I activated it with water. I just really like that effect. This is a Tinkerbell I did from that workshop as well. She's got glitter. It doesn't scan like glitter, obviously, but it does an alright job. But just in case you're wondering what all those dots were. These were some old little stamping tests. Sugar Skull. This was from when I had that Daisyween where I tried to do all the Stepford Wives. I got through a bunch of those, but I never did like... I find if I don't commit to a challenge in a specific way, I could eventually half finish the challenge. I obviously won't finish the whole thing, but to me it feels like I've never really done anything, because there'll be 3 little illustrations on a post-it note, there'll be 1 in the corner of my journal, there'll be 2 on a piece of loose paper, and so to me that's not really a collection of anything, so it seems like it's nothing. Does that make sense? But like for Daisyween this year, they're all in the journal, so I feel like it's a whole collection of things, which I will show you in a second. I mean, I guess I can show you now. That's kind of everything. Yeah, it's all pretty self-explanatory. You know what we do on Collage Club, but just in case you're new, it is just a collection of old works and new works. This is a lot of new works, and just the best way I can share everything that I do, you know, illustration, art, painting-wise in my journaling, the most tangible way I can share it with you, and the most cost-effective. This is kind of like the best value, I think, of anything that I offer in the JLB Creative Multiverse. So that's, yeah, if you don't know, $5 is the subscription price for a month on Teachable. All the information's in the landing page, and you can find the link to Collage Club in the description box. But it's $5 a month, but at any given month, there's 4 months worth of collage sheets in there rotating. So at this point, it will be October, September, August, and July. August, September, October. Yes, it'll be those 4 months. And then next month, the the oldest one will rotate out when the new one rotates in. So it's always 4 months of a rotation. Some months we get extra sheets. It's always a guaranteed minimum of 5, but some months I just go overboard. This month I gave you an extra little sheet here with the party pumpkins. And yeah, it also includes a usage license for up to 100 handmade items. So if you're someone that makes things to sell on Etsy, it comes with a license to use that. Just let me know what you're doing with it. I'd love to see it. But yeah, that's totally up to you as well. Some people do lovely, crazy things with them, like printing them and putting them in fabrics and bags and quilts and like, I mean, I've seen lots and lots of wonderful things. Earrings. So yeah, that's all the information I think I should share on that. The rest I was going to show you was Daisy, which, why is this book on the ground? The cat could answer me that. The cats have been knocking everything off my desk lately. So this is Daisyween. This officially started October 1st. It is not Inktober, even though it is it's a month's worth of prompts in October that, let's be real, most people are doing ink with. So it is what it is. I just don't want to cross any copyright boundaries with that because you know what happens with that. But this is the book. This is available through Amazon. So if you want to buy this, I'm saying, like, don't stress yourself out to finish it in October, but it is Daisyween, kind of Halloween, but through Daisy. And so, I mean, people are going to do what they feel like doing, and I think most people want to do it for October. I'm currently up to date. I'm going to flip through it for you. Here it is. I haven't put my name in there yet. This is the paperback version. I have a hardcover version coming, which I want to do. I kind of want to transfer these pictures into there, but I think I might do it with just straight to pen and like make it really wonky. These I've been really having a great time just doing pencil drawings with, like graphite, the little blending stump, and my eraser, and just really spending some time with it. I don't know what got into me. I'm not usually this involved with challenge drawings like this, but I mean, if I'm feeling it, I say go for it. So, pardon me. Struggling. These are the prompts that I've done so far. The story is, in an essence, Daisy is celebrating Daisyween or Halloween, and she just realizes she hasn't got a costume to wear, and so she goes on and lists 31 things that she thinks she might want to wear for Daisyween, and they're just the most nonsensical things. And so really what I wanted to do was write something kind of Seussian so that it would be fun to read. And my whole intention behind Daisy in the first place, Daisy, if you don't know, is literally a character that is made up of these details, typically bows, glasses, freckles, and scalloping. And we just use that, we apply that kind of aesthetic to whatever it is we're drawing. So that's why she looks different each time you draw her. And originally was just a fun way to see how everyone interpreted the same things and to show just how creative everyone was and see the imagination that was running around the community. And it was really, really fun. The first year we did it and we made a book for it. And then we've done it a couple of times since, but this is the first time I actually got to do what I originally set out to do, which was make a book to illustrate, so that at the end of it, we would have a book that we'd illustrated. We were all children's book illustrators. And in the back of my mind, I've always wanted to have this so that I could read it to my nephews and nieces, and so that I could feel like I had done something like just really original for them, or like, I don't know, I get this weird urge to just do that for them, which is crazy because I'm not like that, but something about the thought of just illustrating it all and reading it to them and having them look at all the pictures and think, what is that? And, you know, spending time with them. I think it's just so sweet to read to the children, especially when they're kind of captivated by the imagery. And I feel like it's just a part of my creativity that I want to share with my nieces and nephews. So I thought, if I want to share that, surely someone else out there might want to share that. And so these are the books, and, you know, this is a little overboard. I don't really know if I have any business drawing things like this for the whole month, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm going to keep going for as long as I can. I will obviously finish the book. I think when the hardcover one comes, I'm going to do that in ink. And I'm actually taking that book to Australia, and I'm going to get my nieces and nephews to color it in. I might even get my mum to color it in, or get Steve to color in a few pages. So that way we'll have all kind of had our hands in it, and then I can read it to them for bedtime stories. But yes, they're very nonsensical. We did a few bunches, like we had a whole community kind of meeting on Instagram Live. Wasn't scheduled. It was just impromptu, but it was really helpful nonetheless. I've seen a lot of comments on YouTube as well from that video, kind of giving really good input. We changed a lot of the prompts to have some kind of leading word in it, so kitty relizzle, like it, I don't think it ever was that in the first place, but I put kitty in there just so that we could lead into something, so obviously kitty, cat. But what's been really funny is that I've already seen, like today, a small spotted snizzle. So many people were doing sneezing, like with tissues and being sick, like they've got the snizzles, and that, I mean, it's so cute when I think about it, but it did not cross my mind whatsoever. To me, a snizzle is going to sound stupid, but the word came from sausage sizzle, which is the Australian, like, sausage in a piece of bread. I was thinking sausage snizzle, and I don't even know how that come up. I think it comes from an old joke about snoozing, which, I mean, you can see how layered some of this stuff is, but it's all nonsense. And by the time it got in here, I was like, yeah, it's just a made-up word. We'll see what people do. There's people are actually... Oh, the other one was the chicken. Yeah, a chichazoon. People were reading it as chickazoon, which they thought was chicken, or even just seeing chicken in there. I have no idea, but multiple people did chicken. It was hilarious. Then I looked at mine and I was like, oh goodness, I didn't do anything chicken-like. Is mine wrong? And then I was like, no, then nothing's wrong. It's all supposed to be whatever you come up with, right? So I've been loving it. We're not even, I mean, by the time you see this, it'll be a week, right? But, congratulations to anyone that's made it through the week. If you're starting, start now. Everyone's shared so much good stuff for you to be inspired by. I'm kind of taking it day by day, but I am just loving it. It has been so funny. Just seeing, especially where, like, group consensus, like there's this hive brain where people are picking out the same things that just didn't even occur to me. So either I'm just really behind, I'm really delayed developmentally, or everyone else is just on it. But it's been great. Like a fossil fissum, see? It's hard to read. On a weasel blitten, those were not the original words. I think it was nimmeltiffum, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was. So anyway, this was kind of a group, I mean, it's a group community project. We kind of put it all together. People weighed in. That's how we had the original didn't have this background on the cover, which we did. We did a digital version of this. A lot of people, thank you for the comments saying leave you off the title page, but by that point I had already sent it through to be approved. I know I mentioned in the video by the time, I see the comments, it'll already be done. But thank you nonetheless for weighing in. It didn't even occur to me to leave that off there because I personally wouldn't write my name on the front, and if there's one thing I'm going to do, it's only think about me and the way I do something. Not true. I would, I probably would have considered it if I hadn't submitted it already, but they were all great suggestions nonetheless, and we have this beautiful book because of it. And the best part is it's available on Amazon. You don't have to have it. You can go to my website and actually download a PDF with all of these stories on there. So not everyone's using a book. You really don't have to. I just wanted to make it available just in case you wanted to have a book at the end of it to, flip through and color in and read to your children or grandchildren, nieces, nephews. I think they're called nibblings. No. Yes? They're not my nibblings. Are they? Did I make that up? I should. I've heard nibblings, nieces and nephews. What is nibblings? Is their relationship? They're my nibblings? I have no idea. I might have just made that up. I don't think I would have though. I've definitely heard it somewhere. These are daisies in the background, by the way, just to show you even more of just how different they can all look. And it really is an experimentation in style. I like to switch mine up every day. I don't like any of my daisies to look the same. So as long as they've got their glasses, their freckles, their bows, and their scalloping, I think I'm good to go. And that's also just a prompt. If you are doing Daisyween and you feel stressed ever, just remember they're prompts to get you going. They're not briefs for work that must be finished. This is not a request I'm making for a finished piece that is amazing and groundbreaking. It is just a prompt to get your hands moving for the day. And whatever you do is good, and I hope you enjoy doing it. I've been loving it. I'm just, leaning into that really, I don't know, quiet, peaceful drawing time that I've been giving myself throughout the day. And yeah, I'll do it all over again when the hardcover book comes. But that's something I did want to check in with you. And then obviously, my last bit of information, I've started my new job at Disneyland. I've been dancing again. My schedule's a little bit hectic, which is fine. There's not so many rehearsals, like I don't have time for anything else, but also this is the time of year where Steve gets really busy, and we're also going to Australia for my sister's wedding, so that's kind of coming up as well. And then we just have that deep dive into Christmas. So I'm getting a little bit stressed. I think I'll be okay. I'll let you know if things change, but I'm really, really loving it. I have to say, it has put such a pep in my step. Even through being sick, I was very glad that I was sick after my rehearsals were finished and that I had the weekend to recover. Thank you guys for being so patient with all of that. I wish I could have done a bit more videoing of the Daisy drawings, but you know, we've still got the rest of the month to kind of do some of that. So yeah, it's just been a bit of a slow week for me, and well, slow but also busy. Lots of things going on, but I've taken them really slow. So yeah, but as far as the dancing goes, I was so nervous when I first got on there because I was thinking, I'll put something on the screen so you can see. I was so nervous. I was thinking my brain hasn't had to remember choreography for so many years. Like, will my brain even do it? Is my body gonna hold out for like a 6-hour day just dancing? I mean, I've done my Zumba, but I haven't really just danced for what, 6 hours straight. And it all went really, really well. You know, I was like overly prepared the first day, which was fine. And the next rehearsal that I had, I felt a lot more comfortable, and yeah, it's been really, really nice. I have to say, I'm in such a good mood about everything, and I'm just riding that high for as long as I can. I don't want to miss any second of it. So yeah, I thought I'd give you a bit of an update on that. I really am just like over the moon, super, super happy, and thank you for being a part of that journey too. I'll let you know more about that as stuff develops, but I have another rehearsal tomorrow, so I should probably get to sleep and get myself sorted for that. Thank you so much for being here around on YouTube and on socials. If you're on Daisyween, can't wait to see what you come up with. I have to do my prompt. Might start a little bit of it now before I go to bed. Maybe finish it in the morning. If you're in Daisyween, keep sharing. We love to see it. And if you're in Collage Club, this has already been available to you since the 1st, but go grab these if you haven't already, or join if you would like to. And yeah, I will see you around when I see you. Oh, I've got to make a TikTok compilation video as well, because I have a lot of TikToks that you haven't seen lately. I've been doing these chaotic little mini vlogs. I put them on Instagram as well, but I like to put them on YouTube just for people who don't use those platforms. Everyone's so scattered these days. I've got people over on Facebook, I've got people over on Instagram, people on TikTok, people on YouTube, and not everyone cross-pollinates. So sometimes I forget that I haven't shown someone something. We'll get there eventually. I'm sure it'll be fine, but don't want to leave you guys hanging. So I'll try and get that out to you soon as well. Have a wonderful day. I'll be off at rehearsals by the time you see this, so wish me luck. I won't need it, hopefully, but you never know. Get really excitable. Things just fly out of my brain. I am really loving it. It's been great. Yeah, I can't wait to share more of that, actually. It's not much to share right now. And it's also something that's difficult to share for obvious reasons. And if those obvious reasons aren't obvious to you, then that's good. We should keep it that way. The rest of the information is for another time. Okay, thank you, everyone. I'll see you again sometime soon. Bye.